Sorry, my phone keeps overheating, so I gotta stay in the shade. But thank you for supporting the live stream. And those of you who have seen some of these, the other one did some super chats, which is a great way to support the show. I'm at the back of the protest here. Following in the rear, just behind, is LAPD. No riot gear, no rubber bullets, no tear gas. Just doing actually what police should be doing, which is protecting this First Amendment right. People peacefully protest. Direct traffic because the streets are getting shut down. Everybody's honking. It's Hollywood. There's no goddamn Confederate flags like I saw up in Ventura County yesterday. And thank you all for, sorry this is the stream. My phone overheats. But this is important because Vanessa Guillen was in the Army. She had reported numerous times to her superior officers that she was being sexually harassed by one specific guy. So much so I believe that he was like watching her shower and she was like, whoa. And then her body was cut up and like horrifically murdered. And this is like, it's awful. It's awful. Women in the military, you know, the sexual assault rates are way up. There's also men that get sexually assaulted in the military and don't want to report it. And so often it's the same story. They report it, commanding officers don't do anything about it, and then it escalates and gets worse, which is what happens in the private community as well. People report it to officers and everything else, and nothing happens. So that's why this is significant. And it started at Trump Star because he's done nothing. This is a veteran. This woman served in the military and was murdered. So, like, something needs to be done. And then I'm learning more and more at Fort Hood. This kind of thing keeps happening at Fort Hood. And Vanessa Guillen's mayor or lawyer said that there's trafficking happening out of Fort Hood. So, and there's all these, you know, deaths and suicides at a much higher rate at Fort Hood than anywhere else. So now we're asking the question, look, this could have just been an awful guy that was harassing her and murdered her. That happens all the time. It's awful. But we have to ask the question, was she aware of sex trafficking? Because anytime somebody finds out about a sex trafficking ring, they always get eliminated. This just keeps happening. So we have to ask that question. And if Trump's so America military and support the troops, why isn't he supported? Why isn't there an investigation about her? She served this country. She signed up to serve this country and wasn't protected by her commanding officers and was murdered by another soldier. What the fuck is that all about? If you served, you're a veteran, you should be goddamn outraged. So stop standing around and if you're in the military and fucking do something about it. So tired of people within organizations just letting shit happen. I'm out here protesting, but I'm not in the Army. Who the hell are her commanding officers that didn't do a goddamn thing? Who the hell are they? Where are they at? Do they harass women? Do they rape women? Are they fucking part of sex trafficking? What the fuck is going on? So, if you're in the military, if you're a commanding officer in the military, what the fuck are you doing? Are you protecting your own soldiers? Isn't that every commanding officer's job? Especially the non-commissioned officers, the NCOs. The best NCOs I ever met when I was in Iraq and Afghanistan were all about, they'd say, protecting the Joes, the enlisted men and women. Well, she wasn't protected, so a bunch of people failed. Whatever sergeant major was overseeing failed, the commanding officer failed, the whole fucking chain of command failed. You failed, Fort Hood. You fucking failed. The whole chain of command at Fort Hood completely failed. So goddamn do something about it. Otherwise, that flag you claim to support, you're full of shit. She signed up to serve this country. She swore to defend the Constitution, and she got raped and murdered for it. Wake the fuck up! Wake the fuck up! Right behind me. So this is the richest country in the history of the world that has people living on the street, and it can't even protect its own female service members. This is the richest country in the history of the world. People living in tents, and then female soldiers getting raped and killed. What is wrong with America? Richest country in the history of the world. People are living in tents, man. All this stand up and defend your country, she did. And look what happened. right, brother.
All right, I'll see you.
Yeah, let's just step over here. We'll talk real quick. So I'm here with Pasa from the Combo Couch. What's up, man? How? Thank you for telling me about this.
Yeah.
And you know, there's a lot of questions. You and I both follow Epstein, that case, and there's you told me that Vanessa Guillen's lawyer said that there's sex trafficking coming out of Fort Hood.
Yep. That's heard of that.
Yeah. Now, while she could absolutely just have been, you know, sexually assaulted and murdered, which unfortunately happens all the time, but the question has to be asked, because all these mysterious soldier deaths are happening out of Fort Hood. How many of them are discovering that there's sex trafficking and then...
Yeah, I mean, look, I got questions too as well. When the lawyer said that the other day, my jaw almost dropped, because you think, how could that happen on a military base? United States military base, it couldn't happen. But no, the military is just the arm of the oligarchs, the elites. So they'll use the military to sex traffic if they want to, and it seems like, who knows what the situation was like if she was even involved, but cries from the family came out, and they were ignored. So here we are today. And yes, it is a big question. What is going on with Ghislaine Maxwell getting arrested or coming into custody?
No mugshot.
None.
No showing her in cuffs, no showing
Nothing.
her being arrested, no perp walk, no none of that shit.
She should be on a 24/7 live stream after what happened to Epstein.
Yeah.
The camera should never go off this woman. The public should know where she's at all fucking times. But yet, we don't know where she's at.
Yeah. So, well, you know, and we've learned, you know, in talking to Whitney Webb and people like that who've done, it's like, it's not just a global sex trafficking ring, it's state sponsored.
Oh, yeah.
The CIA's involved. So, of course they would use Fort Hood. It's right by the Mexican border. It's easy to traffic somebody.
Yeah, and let's not forget that, you know, it was found out that Epstein, we did a story on this a long time ago, was actually using military personnel, helicopters and whatnot to transport women. So, you know, we know they're involved just to what extent, who knows what. I think we have to go right to the top and take them down.
Take them down. That's what we got to do.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us today, brother.
Guys, have a fun rally. We love you out there.
All right, man.
Vigilante. Save your knuckles for justice.
Combo Couch out. I know we were a little close without the masks on, but it's outside, so I know. I was aware of that, if there's anyone in the chat. So I'm going to catch up with the protest. Hollywood still continues. This is the famous Cinerama Dome. Very famous theater. Famous theater, like to watch big screen stuff. This is Sunset Boulevard. So it started on Hollywood and Highland, and now we've come down. Now this is Sunset, and then this is now Sunset and Vine. This is
Come on. The organizers of all things The sister's a little bit shy, but we got her, right? Let her know. Let her know on here. We love you. 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. What does community look like?
Hi, my name is Selma, and I decided to organize or Latino. You feel like you don't have any say in it, and it's always our fault to get abused. This is the government we have, and it's not fair to have this hidden away from humanity. Pretty much.
Where's the sister from the other event? The one that I talked to on IG. If you're here, you told me you were wearing a black jacket. If you're here, come up. Eva, whenever the other sister, Patty.
What's up?
I'm Nelly, and I'm here to, I organized this conference because I want to let everyone know to leave our innocent vendors alone. They're innocent. They won't do anything bad. They respect everyone. They're not racist. We don't want racism here. Just respect our vendors. We respect everyone else. Stay in our lane. Stay in your lane too, please. I appreciate you guys.
Hold on. If you guys in the back, did everybody hear what she said? Did you hear what she said? Okay. She said she's here for the vendors. She organized something for the vendors. Do we want respect for vendors? Yeah! Do we want to protect our vendors?
Yeah!
Do we love their food?
Yeah!
Do you see the hard work that they put in? If you feel tired from this small march, think about the vendors pushing those carts all day long, every day. Do they deserve our respect?
Yeah!
Do they deserve our money? Do they deserve our protection?
Yeah!
Do they deserve our march? So we are here for the vendors as well. Now, when the sister reached out to me, and then someone else reached out about Vanessa, I said, well, then we gotta do this united. Just because our true focuses, it doesn't mean we're not here in the same spirit, in the same energy, in the same love. So whatever frontier you have going on, whatever focus, we're all in it together. When I say stronger, you say together.
Together!
Stronger.
Together!
Stronger.
Together!
And I know, like she said, this is probably the other sister's first time speaking, and maybe she's just a little bit shy, but we're gonna give her some more love, because what she said is powerful. She says she's here because of Vanessa, and because it's not right what's going on with Vanessa. Do you agree?
Yeah!
Do you agree?
Yeah!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
I want to pass the mic to the other organizer. Or she has her own mic.
Okay, well, hi everyone. Thank you for coming here. And a special thanks to all the Sunset. Please give me a round of applause. It's a lot of hard work, not only marching, but hitting those drums and dancing. So my respect for all the Sunset. Thank you for being here with us. I'll say it again. My name is Patty Chavez, and I'm part of California. We fight for human rights.
white, Asians, everyone. And other things that I want to say to the Latinos, Mexicanos, Centroamericanos, let's pay attention to who's supporting us. And when it comes to Latino celebrities, let's pay attention, singers, YouTubers, influencers, where are they? Look around, where are they? They're not here. So they want our money, they want us to buy their music. Well, there's one here. He's the actor for Christina Aguilera, and I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. And there's a lot of people, but I can't remember his name. I just want to say, we got to pay attention to that, because a lot of them leave off our culture, they want our money, they claim raza, they claim Latinos, and they're not here. So we gotta pay attention to that. Tenemos que poner atención a los latinos, youtubers, cantantes, a todos esos que dicen apoyar a la raza en videos para likes, para clout, pero no están aquí. No, ¿dónde están? Solo uno que ve aquí que baila para Cristina Aguilera y Jennifer López. Que gracias por estar aquí. ¿Y por qué los menciono a ellos? Porque tienen una plataforma muy grande. Yo tengo unos 100 seguidores en Instagram. Ellos tienen millones, miles. ¿Y dónde están? No están aquí, no pusieron fotos. ¿Por qué? Porque esto de Vanessa no les deja dinero. Esto de Vanessa Guillen no vende. ¿Por qué? Porque es una latina. Una latina que no es un pedazo de basura. Una latina que es una soldada. Y los hipócritas que dicen amar a los soldados y que I'm all about the soldiers, ¿dónde están? No les interesa porque es una mujer, es una latina dos, porque fue abusada y fue asesinada. Así que quisieron engañar a todos nosotros y tenemos que decir basta. Basta, and we gotta stand up for our Latina soldiers, our black soldiers, because they don't matter. They do not matter. Thank you.
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
What's her name?
Vanessa!
Hi everybody, my name is Kathy Alvarez and I'm here in support of you guys and all our raza. I'm going to speak Spanish for those that speak Spanish as well. Estoy aquí para apoyar a Vanessa y no solamente a Vanessa, también estoy aquí para apoyar a los que están caídos, con los que están caídos por la policía, los que fueron asesinados por ellos. Ya es justo, es suficiente, tenemos que unirnos como raza, como latinos, como indígenas, como nativos indígenas que somos. ¡Soy inocente! Y me duele en el corazón que los traten como pedazo de basura, cuando nosotros estábamos aquí antes que todos los blancos, que nos pisotean, nos humillan. Ya no más, nos tenemos que unir. ¡Arriba nuestra raza!
Let me get your attention. Let me get your attention. I want to signify and symbolize and point something out very strong, very important. Never think that because you're a young mujer, you cannot lead something. Never think that because you're a young mujer, you cannot organize something. Look at the young mujeres here. There's actually more mujeres than hombres. As hombres, we gotta uplift them. We gotta empower them and say, we got you. What do you need from us? We got you. So make some noise for them. Make some noise for the mujeres. Para todos los jóvenes, como esta hermana, ven por acá, hermana. Todos los jóvenes, miren que sí se puede. By the way, there's waters and snacks somewhere over here. Somewhere in the back, there's waters and snacks, so hydrate. This is a moment to hydrate because we will continue marching later. Let's give all of your attention right now.
I just want to say thank you to everybody that came. Porque yo soy mexicana. Dicen que soy ilegal. Pero si tú lees la historia, esta es mi tierra natal. Y tú, chico americano, tú sí que eres ilegal. Porque yo soy mexicana. Aquí me voy a quedar. Y aunque tú pongas la barda, yo me la voy a brincar. Por arriba o por abajo, ni cuenta te vas a dar. Diosito hizo la tierra para todos por igual. Se las dejó a Adán y Eva. El paraíso
fighting that for our youth. That's our future. Show her love! We gotta uplift our community. More importantly, our youth, because they will pave the way for us. They will pave the way for us, always. We're here for them ultimately. We have a few years left, some of us, but they have their whole life ahead of them. Their whole life. And we want to make sure we have justice for them. What are we fighting? That's right, sister. Get closer. What are we fighting?
¡Digan su nombre! ¡Digan su nombre! ¡Digan su nombre! Exactamente, tenemos que decir su nombre de Vanessa y de cualquier otra persona que esté asociada por este sistema. El sistema, ella fue azotada por este sistema militarista, lo que no ayudan a las personas, a los soldados si tienen algún problema con su supervisador, no tienen realmente ayuda del ejército, no tienen ayuda del gobierno. Y realmente nos tenemos que dar cuenta qué tan triste y destrampado es eso, porque dense cuenta, todos, ¿verdad? Los que van a votar en noviembre. Es bueno que algunas personas sí puedan votar, pero fíjense muy bien por quién voten. O sea, sabemos todos que en general, por ejemplo, el Partido Republicano no nos apoya. Eso es obvio, ¿verdad? Sí, pues no. Pero también, desgraciadamente, hemos tenido a muchos demócratas que nos han también dado la cara. Muy desgraciadamente, todos conocemos cómo van mandó a tantos niños y personas para su regreso a sus tierras que él mismo agredió. ¿Se acuerdan de la junta allá en Honduras? ¿Se acuerdan de eso? Claro que se acuerdan. Nos tenemos que acordar que este sistema militarístico de los Estados Unidos no nos ayuda a nadie en este mundo, definitivamente no a nosotros, nos nosotros. Entonces, por eso tenemos que siempre recordar, buscar otras personas, otros líderes, no importa que sean de algunos otros partidos, el Partido Verde, hay otros partidos de tercera afiliación, por favor, todos tenemos que votar y hacer ese cambio. No, el hecho de que sea un demócrata no significa que apoya a nuestro esfuerzo aquí. Ya necesitamos una investigación del Congreso en esta muerte y no la hemos tenido porque no están con nosotros. Entonces siempre vamos a recordar esto y vamos a recordar a Vanessa. ¡Digan su nombre! ¡Digan su nombre! ¡Digan su nombre!
Y bueno, también vamos a estar levantando la voz y vamos a seguir levantando la voz por todos los rincones de esta nación, porque ya basta todos los ataques en contra de nuestra comunidad. Todos somos uno y vamos a seguir levantando la voz con un
base. Why is that not being said? She was serving this country and murdered on a U.S. facility with military base. That's insane! Think about that. Andres Guardado, right? That's another brother. 18 years old. At work. 18 years old. At work. Working 2 jobs to provide for his family. And was shot in the back 7 times. He was at work. That's insane. Why ain't they talking about that? We could say that they don't care about us, right? But the media, if we pay attention to what they're doing, only amplify what the people want them to. So now it's up to us. It's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to you now. Spread the word and let it know. It's going down over here today. They ain't talking about this, man. Get out here. We gotta make sure that they start talking about this and we take it hard to the pay until some arrests are made. And then if we know that they did it and they don't want to do nothing about it, then we make their life a living hell. That is our responsibility. It's up to you. You over there. You over here. Whether you're Latino, Chicano, Hispanic, Latinx, transgender, LGBTQ, black, white, brown, Asian, Middle Eastern. It's up to you. It's up to us. Justice is only done through the people. Now's not the time to say who speaks for us, who marches for us. You do. You do. Every single one of you here do. I'd like to say some names. Eric Rivera. Eric Rivera. Say his name. Eric Rivera. Say his name. He was murdered by the police officers. Jesse Romero. Say his name. Jesse Romero. Say his name. Jesse Romero. Say his name. Jesse Romero. Cesar Rodriguez. Say his name. Cesar Rodriguez. Say his name. Cesar Rodriguez. Say his name. Cesar Rodriguez. decide. Are you tired? No. Your voice choosing to be here, choosing to continue. Your voice has become their voice. We stand here right now together. No matter your political beliefs, ideology, look around. We stand here, united, together, united as a proud nation. We stand here today for one common goal, to free our kids from a system that was created only to murder and enslave brown and black children. Please, repeat after me. Free our kids! Free our kids! From a system! That was created! Only to murder and enslave! Brown and black children! The decisions we make today! Will determine the future! Of all our children! The path we seek is peacefully! But we will defend us! And ours! At all costs! We have all come together here for one common goal. Everybody here is a new organizer, a seasonal organizer. Everybody here, all of you, because all of you have the power to do this. Get my information. In between the BS, free our kids. You want to set something up in your city? Send me that flyer. We make it happen. Because your voice is my voice is your voice. And only together we will flip this motherfucking system upside down. Only together. We're no longer fun pipelines that are poisoning our waters. Make some noise. I hand it over to my brother Haran right here. He's helped me. He's got me. Together we have learned and we have grown together. And I just want to tell you, thank you, brother. Thank you. Together we learn. Together we grow. Don't run away when the fire gets hot. That's when you rise even higher. Appreciate that, love. What does community look like?
This is what community looks like.
What does community look like?
This is what community looks like.
What does community look like?
This is what community looks like.
I want you to look around. We started with just a few, and more are still coming in. I see the people in the back just came in. I see some people over here coming in. Make some room for them. This is how we make it happen. It's one phone call, one text message, one message on IG or any other social platform, Facebook, Twitter. It starts with an idea. I want to make noise. I want my voice to be heard. I want my voice to be their voice, the ones that are no longer with us. So in their memory, we're going to have a moment of silence. This moment of silence is going to be 8 seconds. The reason 8 seconds is important is because 8 symbolizes infinity. When you put the 8 sideways, oh, okay. We will actually have one more speaker before the moment of silence.
Okay. So I want to thank Brown Beret for being here with us. And what they're asking me to say is that there is a young female by the name of Krista Martinez who came forward and said she wanted to break the silence. Then she died in a car accident. We are here to demand justice, not only for Vanessa Guillen, but for her, for Krista Martinez.
So, did you guys catch her name? Say her name. Say her name. For the ones in the back. For the ones that just got here. For the ones you got your phone. For all of Ireland. For all of Maryland. For all California. For the whole nation. Are we gonna stand up for her? Are we gonna fight for her? Are we gonna march for her? Are we gonna also have her in our hearts and our minds during a moment of silence? Do you think there's fair play?
Yes.
I don't think so, right? Because she was the first one to start asking questions. She was the first to raise noise, to raise awareness. And then all of a sudden, she dies in a car accident. Are all accidents accidents? No! Are some accidents wrong? Can accidents be wrong? So there's something there, right? Her life matters, right? Her name matters, right? What's her name? So along with Vanessa, along with Andres Ronaldo, Floyd, Brianna, and everyone else, we're going to have this moment of silence.
Also, let's mention Gregory Morales, also a soldier who was also murdered in Fort Hood. And also Lavana Johnson, African American. No one really talks about her. 19 years old. She was murdered in 2005. She was found with a broken nose, no teeth, sexual abuse, and they said that it was suicide. Her name is Lavana Johnson, and they said it was suicide, but it's a lie. And one last thing I gotta say about the cops, police.
I hear Lavana Johnson. Say her name.
Lavana Johnson.
Say her name. Say her name. What's the brother's name?
Gregory Morales.
Gregory Morales. Gregory Morales. Say his name. Say his name. One more time. So we're going to have all of them in our hearts, in our prayers, in our minds. We're going to hold a moment of silence for 8 seconds. And again, the 8 symbolizes sideways and symbolizes infinity. So for infinity, their energies are with us. Their spirits continue for infinity because our spirits, our souls is energy. And energy can never go anywhere else. It just transmits into other places. But they're with us now. Do you feel their energy with you? Do you feel everyone's energy that we're fighting for? Do you feel them with you? Do you feel them with us? Even your own ancestors, even your own relatives, your own loved ones, they're here with you, right? They're standing next to you. So for 8 seconds, let me get everyone's attention. For 8 seconds, we're going to hold a moment of silence. We're going to hold all of them with us in our hearts and our minds. Starting now. Hold on. We can't have a moment of silence for this piece of talking. Moment of silence means everybody. Everybody. Moment of silence for 8 seconds for our brothers and sisters. Starting now. Hold on. We're going to continue this all day until we get those 8 seconds without any interruption. Brothers, they just can wait. We're doing a moment of silence. Please respect the moment of silence. Thank you. Signs down, by the way. Signs down. All your signs down. 8 seconds. Starting now. Thank you. Now make some noise for their energy. And let's figure something else. This is has been a little confusing once in a while when people say, are you tired? The question comes up in two different forms. When we're marching and someone asks, are you tired? We say no, right? Because we want to continue marching. But then, when we're talking systematically, are we tired of them killing us? Well, then we are tired in that aspect, right? So, to kind of clear things up, if you understand the word tired, it means to carry something. It means to carry when you're like carrying weight or water and you're tired, right? So you can think of a tire that's tired of carrying the vehicle. Should we be carrying the injustices of the government? Should we be carrying the injustices of the government?
So some of the last speakers brought up some great points about. I'm just learning about this Fort Hood, but it's just really odd to me that all these soldiers in Fort Hood keep having these mysterious deaths or suicides, or as that woman said, there's a woman who had her nose broken, her teeth knocked in, and they called it a suicide. So it's really, it demands some more investigation because, first of all, there's two big issues here. One, the amount of sexual assault that happens in the military that is covered up, or the commanding officers don't do a damn thing about it. And then sex trafficking rings. And what we know about sex trafficking rings is they'll do whatever they got to do to cover it up. They'll do whatever they got to do to protect it. And when someone comes home as a whistleblower, they get taken out. So we know this. We know this about sex trafficking rings. So it's a valid question to ask. What happened? Why all these people keep passing away? Why is that happening? So my battery is dying on my phone, and I've plugged in my external battery, and that one is about to fade. So I'm gonna cover a little more of this, and then I'm gonna take off. But this is a powerful protest because it's really opening up, for me at least, a lot of questions about what's going on in Fort Hood. So we're on the corner of Sunset Boulevard.
Does those drums beat just like your heart does? That's the language of our ancestors. That's their language. That's how they talk to our hearts. Once again, give it up for the Santos. There's a lot of people don't know. Who was at the march in Pasito Alberto yesterday? I think
I had the two reds. Oh. All right, folks. Thank you for coming to the live stream. Sorry I cut out several times because my phone overheated. I'll try to go through and break up some of the segments and drop them as separate if I can. But thank you for, we're in Hollywood. There's the Walk of Fame. So thank you for supporting the show, the super chats. I know when I do these out in the live protests, I can't really answer them, but thank you for supporting the show. There's a lot of great ways to support the show. Patreon.com/Graham Elwood, Rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. And of course you can buy stuff at GrahamElwood.com. All these ways to support the show so that I can go do more stuff like this and bring awareness to this, because there was no TV cameras were here, no mainstream media was here. And this is the thing that makes me so mad. Like, Fox News is all America, the troops, the troops, the troops, support the military. Well, then where the fuck is your coverage of this, Fox News? You're full of shit. Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity, you're full of shit. You're completely full of shit if you can't cover this. This should be an outrage. The media should be outraged. She signed up to serve the military. She signed up to serve this country. She signed up to defend the Constitution, and she fucking murdered. Why isn't there an investigation? Why is this treated like what? Like some homeless person OD'd or something, like, which is awful. But why? This is unbelievable. Like, so this is just like, they're coming up Vine Street behind me. So why, you know, like, it's just unbelievable that no mainstream media coverage is on this. Like, I just found out about this yesterday. So why isn't the media talking about this? She signed up to serve her country. And this country can't even protect her? What is that saying? When they read all those other names, like, holy shit. How like, why can't where all these flag-waving conservatives who are all about America, 4th of July, they should be screaming about this. An American service member was murdered. An American service member was murdered. Some shit needs to be done about that. Why the fuck is Fort Hood still open? Why is Fort Hood still open? Who's running Fort Hood? Who's running it? Dershowitz, the Clintons, Trump? Who's the fuck's running it? Trump not investigating anything. Oh, Trump, the QAnon morons think, oh, Trump's gonna really bring these pedophiles to. Trump should be on top of this. At one of his fucking Make America, how great is America being made if soldiers are getting murdered, raped and murdered? So if you're a right-winger, Trumper, fucking love America, pull your head out of your hypocritical ass and fucking stand up for a goddamn fallen soldier. Stand up for a fucking fallen soldier, man. Do something. It drives me insane. Your flag-waving bullshit, but no action. Support the troops? Support Vanessa Guillen. Support her then, if you're all support the troops. Support the fucking troops then. We shouldn't have to do this. She should have reported it to her commanding officers, and boom, then the guy's prosecuted, arrested, kicked out, whatever the fuck the procedure is. That should have goddamn happened. Instead, she's dead. So, I'm sorry. You're all hypocrites, man. If you're fucking military, America, wave the flag, make America great again, support the troops, you are full of shit. You served in the military and you let this happen, you're full of shit. You were any of the names that were read, any of these women and men's names that were read, you're their commanding officer, you were their sergeant major. What the fuck were you doing? What the fuck were you doing? How did you let that happen? You failed. You have failed. The military has failed. The chain of command has failed. and this bullshit, and even these idiots, Pelosi and these morons, and what have they done? The support the troops thing is a bumper sticker. That's the right wing's coexist. The fucking left wing puts coexist on their Prius or whatever, and they don't give a fuck about anything except themselves. And the right wing puts support the troops on their fucking SUV. They don't give a fuck about supporting the troops. They say that they do, but they don't give a fuck about supporting the troops. That's bullshit. The right and the left in America doesn't give a flat fuck about anything except themselves. And the two fucking whorehouse parties don't give a shit either. This should be a full investigation. This should be dominating the airwaves. But no, we're going to talk about hot dogs and then you dumb fucking Confederate flag waving motherfuckers. That's an army that was trying to defeat the United States of America. Was an army that was trying to defeat. So if you're waving the Confederate flag, you are against the United States of America. Congratulations. You should be hung for treason. If any of my nieces or nephews say they want to join the military, especially my nieces, I'd say don't. They can rape and murder you and there'll be no prosecution, no nothing. You're not safe, you're not protected, they don't give a shit about you. But heck, guess what, kids? Here's $1,200 for 4 months. Good luck, assholes. That's what the government just told us. They don't give a fuck. They don't care that we're bombing countries. They don't care that people are getting raped and murdered. They don't give a shit about anything. So now we're on the corner of Hollywood and Vine. Corner of Hollywood and Vine.
Was she an indigenous woman? Yes. Did she go missing? Yes. Did she get murdered? Yes. MMIW.
So he just said she's indigenous. She's a murdered and missing indigenous women. That's a subject I've covered on this show. It's important that he's bringing it up because that's what this is. This is part of that. Murdered and missing indigenous women, women of color can just get killed and murdered and go missing and raped and nobody gives a shit. And they don't even give a shit if it happens in the military. Anyone who's served in the military, you should be outraged that this happened. You should be completely outraged. You should be disgusted by this. It should be offensive to you. You should be like, never again. You claim to care about this country and the Constitution. What the fuck kind of constitution and country do we have when our own service members aren't safe? You're also all lives matter, blue lives matter. What about fucking military lives matter? What about military lives matter? This woman was in the military. She was murdered. We don't even protect our own fucking soldiers. Anyone who's a veteran should be outraged at this. country is dying. Thank you everybody for joining the live stream. Like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. Wake up, get involved. There's a lot of ways to get involved. Anything, sharing this stream, sharing the videos, signing petitions, all that. Everywhere you donate, it all matters. It all counts. Everybody getting involved in one way or another, that's what's going to make the change if everybody's involved one way or another. There's a lot of ways. You don't feel safe protesting, you're at risk with the COVID. I get it, man. A lot of ways to help out. Shave your knuckles for justice. Thanks, everybody. Vigilante out.